Hello, my name is Amber Mann, and I am a MED Instructional Technology candidate at Kennesaw State University, graduating in the summer of 2017. I am here to present my capstone presentation entitled Motivating Students, What's the Problem? The question for this capstone was developed by interviewing administrators, students, and teachers regarding their desires for change in connections class instruction. The question became, does problem-based learning improve motivation, engagement, and student achievement in connections classes? The desires of administrators were standards-based instruction and effective technology integration. Team teachers wanted to mirror the core subject instructional model, and connections teachers wanted bell-to-bell instruction and one-to-one technology management tools. To meet those needs, the lesson plan for this technology integration included an activating strategy, direct instruction, guided instruction, a work period, and a closing. Technology training was attended by all connections teachers to learn to implement Wordle and Nearpod during the opening phase of instruction, Office 365 forms and ClassFlow during the work period, and Quizlet Live and Kahoot during the closing. One-to-one technology management training occurred with teachers who were unable to effectively manage the technology environment. Those teachers started to use seating charts, web blocking, and conduct logs in order to more effectively manage their students. Here is an example of what students would see each day to navigate the lesson. Each day when they log into the learning management platform, they will see their activating strategy, direct instruction, guided instruction, work period, and closing. During the opening phase of the lesson, Nearpod was used to engage students. You can see here the Nearpod lesson, and you can preview this lesson in the Nearpod platform, where students would look at the different industries that were the most important in Newton County, and then they would be asked a question about the area that they want their career to fit into. These are actual locations in Newton County where students could work in the future, and students could choose one of these locations. And then lastly, they would create a drawing to show how their work could improve Newton County in the future. So in order to show you some of these drawings, you would go to your lesson in Nearpod, and you would actually click on Reports. And you can see here a summary of those students who participated in each activity. You would see your correct answer ratios. And then let's go to Draw It. And you can actually see the drawings that students created showing how their work would improve our county. Another tool that was implemented during the guided instruction portion of the lesson are forms. So a form is a way to take a quick evaluation of what students know and what you still need to discuss in small groups or individually or as a whole group. So here's an assessment that we use because coding is a very important skill. It's going to be important in every industry in the future. So we actually had our students go to this website and they learned some information about coding and then took this assessment. And with this form, you can look at your responses and you can see how many students are answering with the correct answer. And then you can find out if you need to review individually with students, because you can look at each individual response. Or you can find out if you need to do a small group redelivery or if you need to redeliver to the whole group. You can also use those responses to discuss the information that students gained during the activity. For the closing of the instructional period, we wanted to do something that was competition based, and one of the things that we implemented was Quizlet Live. And here's a video about what Quizlet Live does in the classroom.
Hi, I'm Thompson. I work here at Quizlet Skills.
And what you can see is that you set up a game.
I'm here in Quizlet's office with our team. We love to test our product's computer.
Everybody has to have a computer.
Device. First, we'll select
or they can use their mobile device.
And then click Create Game. So my teacher computer
the kids get a code
to type Quizlet.live and to pin their real names. That way they can easily find their team at the next step.
And it's very important what he said about students entering their real name.
Click to scratch it out and then have your student re-enter their name. Quizlet Live creates random teams of 3 to 4 students. Get to pick the right term.
Students get on a team, and then based on the terms they see on their screen, they choose the right term.
New material and final reviews before assessments. My teacher computer is now projecting the lead.
And then at the front of the room, everybody can see who's winning.
One wrong answer will send you back to the start. We can review how the whole class did. We can see what terms they learned by playing the game, terms they regularly missed, and terms they know by heart. I can also use this time to review frequently missed pairs and help reinforce these concepts.
And at the end, you can use this game as a whole class review on what students are doing, what terms students know well, and what they need to focus on in the future. So following that technology integration training that every teacher went into, here's our capstone plan. The plan was to do a literature review to make sure that we could find a connection between PBL, motivation, engagement, and student achievement. After that, there was a presentation of PBL in a summer professional development session. During that session, Connections teachers learned about the essential components of PBL, and they were provided with a PBL development template, and they actually developed their own modules and they planned tasks for specific courses. To evaluate the effectiveness of this PBL implementation, administrators, teachers, and students were surveyed. Students were asked if the strategy was engaging and relevant, and they were asked if they had the opportunity to be self-reliant, to communicate with their peers and teachers, and if they practiced teamwork skills during the module. Team and Connections teachers, along with administrators, were asked if the implementation resulted in best practice instruction, technology integration, and Connections instruction that closely resembled core course instruction. The results of this experience were that almost all students believed that the strategy was standards-based and that they were engaged in authentic learning. However, only a small majority agreed that they were able to learn in a self-directed environment and that they had the chance to practice their communication and effective teamwork skills. A majority of the teachers and administrators surveyed stated that the PBL results in a curriculum that closely aligns itself to the GPS, that PBL effectively integrates technology, and that these modules were planned with best practice instructional methods. As I reflect on this experience, I remember that we encountered a couple of problems, including scheduling conflicts with our culminating activity, student downtime due to grading lags, and changes in the final product due to the digital divide. So what we did was we collaborated between students and teachers to plan a culminating activity that did not interrupt instructional time. So we actually ended up with College Awareness Day instead of having a College Awareness Fair. We also provided self-guided enrichment opportunities so that students would have something to do when their writing activities were being graded. Lastly, we had to offer students options for creating their final product due to differences in the availability of equipment and software. The work that we began during this project must continue so that students will always experience engagement in their Connections classrooms. The resources that we created and provided during this project can be easily integrated and adapted into future modules. Currently, the business, technology, and family consumer science education teachers are planning a PBL project to teach financial literacy and coding standards. I would like to acknowledge and thank the following groups for providing resources for this project. The Buck Institute for Education was used to find our planning templates, evaluation rubrics, and the Make More Money lesson that we used to give our students a sample of what PBL was. So to find these, you can go to bie.org, click on Resources, click on Planning Forms, and you will find the Essential Project Design Elements checklist, a project design rubric, project calendar, and other items that will help you to develop your PBL units. Another item that you can find here are rubrics. So if you want to evaluate project-based instruction, then here's a project-based teaching rubric. We did use BrainPop to find videos and digital citizenship lessons to go along with our module. BrainPop has a great platform where you can actually find those videos. So we're going to go to Engineering and Tech, and we're going to click Computer Science. We're going to actually click Digital Citizenship. And you can find lessons on digital etiquette, cyberbullying, online safety, plagiarism, copyright, and other items that you believe are a part of your module or lesson. And once you click on that video, you can actually click on Assign. And once you click Assign, after you have classes set up, these assignments will show up when your students click My BrainPop. Lastly, we offered an enrichment opportunity from the St. Louis Federal Reserve, and that was through a platform called Budgeting 101. To get there, you would actually have to create an Econ Lowdown account, click on Resource Gallery, and then you will see here Budgeting 101, and you click this plus and it ends up in your resources. And Econ Lowdown is a learning management system. You will be able to see your students, you'll be able to see their progress and see their student achievement scores. So I'd like to say again, thank you to BrainPop, the Buck Institute for Education, and Econ Lowdown Budgeting 101, made available by the St. Louis Federal Reserve. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope that you are able to use PBL to increase engagement and student achievement.